Welcome back. We rejoined the party, leading their horses through the city of Silver Rain. Following behind Lewin, their rough leader. Through the night of the streets. After recent events, is there anything you would like to do as you head up north through the city, towards the northern gate?
Liliana will be pretty focused on bonding with her horse while everybody's doing with their thing. Saddling, cinching, treats. Really taking care of that horse.
Yeah, did the horses come with carrots, by the way?
He did grab a kind of a bag that's on one of the horses. That is just general horse supplies.
Nice. I'll share a carrot with the horse.
As Lewin leads the way. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
As all that is happening, Talon's gonna kind of walk over to Fox J, kind of in a quieter tone. Fox J.
Yes.
Kind of pull him off to the side. I haven't ridden a horse since, well, a long time ago. Not to be that person to slow us down. Either could you help me or I ride with you or someone.
Of course. I can do that for you. Can I kind of perceive what exactly I could help with to give Talon the independence of being able to do it without making like a scene or like embarrassment or anything?
I think you could probably, it'll be between the two of you, roll an insight check to determine exactly what Talon is uneasy about or unsure of himself about.
Are we both rolling? Okay.
What depends on if you're being deceptive or not, or how much you're trying to veil what it is. But Hunter, you would go ahead and roll your insight to see if there's
Dirty
anything
20.
There. Yep. Dirty 20, that's up to you to determine how much of that. Use your DM skills, Wyatt.
Oh, my DM skills, great. Okay, I'm gonna roll a deception to try and like hide some things, but still like stay truthful. And that's a fuck. That's a 6.
That's a good number.
It's just, I kind of have to keep my feet planted to kind of know where I am.
Of course.
It's hard getting on something where you have no eyes.
I can only
No
imagine.
sight.
I know what it's like to be lost without a sense or two. We've already got the horse, so maybe stay close. I can help with both reins. I don't mind you sharing a horse with me. But maybe trust yourself. Trust the horse. Follow us along. I'll be right there. With you.
What if we had a rope, tied them to?
subtly checking inventory.
I have a 50-foot hempen rope that I could just like pull out of this random ass, relatively tiny bag and like.
All right. That'd be fine with me. It's gonna be a long trip. We gotta be comfortable. So I will, I assume we're like going on the horses, like we are trotting along. So I don't want to.
Yeah, at this point it is. It's opened up enough in the lower village. I say lower, but it's in the north, where you would be able to actually get on the horseback, but you'd still be kind of walking through the streets. But at this point, you would be able to mount. You would be able to mount the horses if you so choose.
Okay, while we're kind of walking along, I'll, with whatever horse knowledge, equestrian experience that Foxjay has, tie them together so as not to make the horses uncomfortable, so that there's plenty of slack, but they're close enough for Talon's horse to be led.
What we got fucking going on here? We doing? He's leaning back. We're doing fucking Boy Scouts, huh? Hold hands.
Hey, Slug Tongue, you can shut up there.
All right, we'll try to keep up. You want me to tie you to mine too?
If you feel like you're gonna get lost, you're welcome to join the train.
Don't get lost when you're leading the way. He kind of saddles back into his own horse, kind of grinning.
Talon's just gonna leave that for now.
I'll just put a nice hand on Talon's shoulder. That kind of reaffirming everything is fine. Don't pay attention to the bullies at school kind of look.
They're there, sweetie. They're there.
The look that Talon can't see.
Yeah. It's more in the hand, like on the shoulder, just...
Are we doing on supplies amongst a lot of us? We got about 2 days on horseback before we first reached the first town.
That should be fine. We were able to get a little bit more of the rations from, and Farron gestures at Liliana. But also, while we're on the road, if there's anything that we can hunt, I can pick up extra food for us along the way.
Fucking works for me. We got tents to show it like that. I can sleep out under the moonlight like the rest of them, but it doesn't hurt. Nobody?
No, I got what I need.
You guys march with your horses through the northern gate of Sovereign. Late into the night. What kind of pace are you trying to keep as you pass through the northern gate?
Do a soft trot, which is not walk like a gallop or a slow pace. It's in between.
I think at the beginning it'd probably be a little bit faster because we're coming from a burning building.
Good point.
But as we get to the gate, probably slow it down just to keep it consistent.
I don't know about you, but I'm not too keen. Go ahead.
What's the time?
The time you're probably looking at 10 or 11 p.m. As he was going on, I don't know about you, but I'm not too keen about night travel. You know, there's one thing to do with the rogues and the bandits. They'll be out and active in the night, just as much as the day. But, you know, night stalkers, gloom stalkers, fucking stalker, whatever you got at the middle of the night, I'm not too keen on dealing with them beasties.
If we'd like to move to get away from the city and travel a bit into the night, I can see fine. And could help keep a lookout. I think it'd be best to put a bit of distance between us and our former quarters.
Yeah, keen on that. Let's go then. this march up. If you want to pull up the map, let me know exactly where you would like to stop. So in a day's worth of horse travel, you would be able to cover 2 of those hexes. And as you can see, to get to Midham, the next kind of leg of the journey, that next town that he was referring to, would be 2 days worth of horse travel.
Okay.
4 days worth of foot travel.
Let's keep at the pace and head north to the trails. The trail, I think that'll be easier.
Hey, if we skirt around near the base, those. So on the map, would those be like hills or mountains?
Those
like,
are
what are we
mountains.
thinking in terms of scale?
They're
Okay.
cliffs and mountains. Not the most massive of mountains, but certainly enough to diverge that coastal path that leads to Mailfair. You would be on the more western, to the left of those mountains, that road that leads to Midham.
Okay.
I want to get on pace with Lewin. Lewin, did the Queen mention at all if we're supposed to lay low as we travel?
Well, I mean, that's up to our own discretion. I know that we don't want to be running into any of the fucking Parthens, but, as long as we're pretty, hush-hush about our mission, it's not like we're going, yeah, we're going to kill the king's cunt. No, we're not going to be announcing that as we're walking around now. They're just a group of adventurers, like a lot of them.
She's gonna pull back on the reins a bit. And she's gonna get on his left side, so she's underneath the trees as we're going. So if she needs to, she can just brace herself on the saddle and jump right into the highest tree branch above her in a moment.
Okay. Yeah, with that, you see that in kind of the valley that Silverain rests near the coast, you head up a hill slightly for the first leg of the journey as you see that it starts to level out and then travel down. After a good few hours of travel, about a half day's worth of travel on horse, you would be coming to that second hex, just before that intersection that leads through the mountain pass. So from Silverain, you see the hex right above it, and then the hex right above that. You would be just before that intersection there between Midham and Mailfair.
What does the trail that we're on look like? Is it kind of through a densely wooded area where a lot of things could kind of hide? Are there like kind of camping spots, like places where like little alcoves or anything?
There's places where the forest dips in closer to the road, and then there's fields surrounding either side, especially on towards the mountainside. There's just fields and plains that lead up to that mountain that separates you and the coast, and that coastal path to your west, to your left as you're traveling. There is those forests that kind of every now and then lick the edge of that trail and path that you're walking, but otherwise there is fields that separate the forest, the more dense forest, that other mountain pass in the valley that you're in. The road was nice and brick leading up to Silverain. As you get further, it's more cobblestone, and as you get further, it becomes dirt.
Okay. Probably as it becomes more dirt, keep an eye on if there are tracks of like multiple hooves kind of clustered together.
Yep, sure. Do a survival check. It'd be pretty hard to tell because it is a well-traveled road. Even in your guys' travel, you've passed many a caravan, many a group of traveling, even guards and patrols. Don't seem to pay no mind to you.
Okay. Yeah, any like turn off or anything that's like in a weird place. But 14.
Yep, it's a well-traveled road.
Awesome.
While we are traveling, I would also like to be kind of a little bit behind Lewin, but keeping an eye out for if there are any signs of danger. So, like, if it looks like there is anyone waiting on the side of the road, or if there are any hungry animals getting a little bit too close.
Sure. As you approach late into the morning, into your travels, about nearing the day's worth of travel, which would be those 2 blocks, you see a few hours before morning comes Lewin. Well, that's about fucking far enough for me. Let's get a few hours in. Recover. We'll move by daybreak.
She probably looks for some tree cover.
Points off a field that stretches out towards the west. Some of the trees over there. All right, easy now. He takes the horse and starts to kind of trot through the fields there.
Follow.
A little bit rocky and unkept. Just higher, dense grass off to the west before the forest begins to sprout up against the field edge. It is a forest of mostly oaks and other kind of young trees that are closer to that field, and then they get to be a bit older as you make their way in and start to get more thick.
I'll find a hardy oak tree. Try to guide Lewin to it. And if quality staying, I'd like to start climbing the tree.
Sure. Roll
And I'm
me
gonna
an athletics or acrobatics check.
I will do.
Know which one you'll pick.
Which one? I will do acrobatics. So that is a 13 for acrobatics.
13 for acrobatics. You are able to, with some time, not being able to grab on too much. It's not a very knotty tree as you climb up to get in a kind of a tree junction where you can sit comfortably.
And she's gonna stab one of her daggers to where she can put her head and like lean against it on a branch. So she's gonna sleep on a branch top or in the shade with her hood up and of course her mask on.
All right, let's hitch our horses up here. This is as good a place as any to make a fire. We've got a bit of a duck away in here. I don't think it'd be seen from the road. We don't want to attract eyeballs that while we're sleeping. I don't know about you, but I like to sleep peacefully.
So do
I'll
we
go
all.
ahead. I'll go ahead and start, like you said, it was kind of rocky, so just kind of hucking some stones to make a bit of a comfortable spot and also make a small fire ring. I am very used to setting up campsites by this point, and so I just kind of fall into that routine that I am used to doing solo to set up an out-of-the-way campsite.
That's what I like to see, everyone making themselves useful. Glares over towards Talon.
At those words, Talon will go up to another nearby tree after hearing like where Leliana had went, go find another oak tree, kind of put his hand on it. And then, as a monk does, just kind of like hop limb to limb to the highest one, disappearing into the canopy.
Lewin kind of sits by the fire, has a stick. He's just kind of poking some of the ashes and embers trail up from it as he pokes away at the fire. Kind of a stern look, as he was tired but now restless in this moment for a little bit.
Can I look to the sky around us and see, is there any moonlight or starlight or
There is,
any
yeah.
sort of...
Lightly cloudy. At the moment, it's a very peaceful breeze that's rolling through the trees, in a very comfortably cold night.
Okay. Can I look to the sky to see if there's any pretty high up plume of smoke that suddenly becomes really wispy, like someone had seen us and quickly put out a fire or anything?
Go ahead and roll a survival or nature or perception check.
Perception it is.
While he's doing the roll, Liliana's not quite asleep yet, but I'll probably notice Lewin being restless. What's the matter, Lewin? You're not tired no more?
Did you come down over to him?
I'm kind of over the top of the branch, just looking down at him, just kind of poking the fire.
Fuck off.
I can get back and cozy.
DM. Natural 20 for 27.
For 27, is that all? Peering into the sky and beyond in the woods, no sign of any doused fires or currently lit fires. No signs of a nearby inhabitation currently.
Okay. I'll then approach Farron and assist. I can pick up a rock, if that's all right.
By all means.
All right. Just being present.
Evelina's just going to be watching this because she has no idea what to do, so she's just taking some mental notes and just watching you build the fire and everything.
Alan pulls out a pan flute while his staff is kind of cockeyed underneath him to kind of provide where one foot is and then the tree trunk, and then where his back is laying a little bit more rest. But he pulls out his pan flute while he's up in the canopy and starts playing, kind of just thinking to himself, but for the most part being quiet and just playing whatever.
Strange birds in the trees here. Awfully sharp. Well, I suppose one is sharp, one a bit more blunt. Good song on that one, though.
Talented. Definitely.
Yeah, normally I'd call somebody a cunt for doing something like that, but kinda in the mood for music.
I'm just going to take a long, just twig, light my pipe of remembrance as the tune seems familiar in a way, and sit down near the embers and just kind of look a little sullen.
This is a whole fucking mood. Anybody want a drink?
I certainly wouldn't turn one down.
Always keep it on me.
Music stops. What do you have?
Got whiskey. I got whiskey. Two different
Never
batches.
had whiskey.
If you're kind of cunt, you don't tell the difference. If you're like me, it gets the job done.
You just hear wrestling, and then Talon just kind of using slow fall, just power move, strikes the ground, just I'll sit for a drink.
While you lot enjoy your drink, I'll watch.
You're a good cunt.
Shift. I'm gonna take a I caught myself. Can I take like something on the tree and just like chuck it at his head?
Yeah, you just an acorn.
Oh, you know what I have? You know what I have as a rogue?
You
I have a
chuck
ball
Talon.
bearing. I'm gonna chuck a ball bearing at his head.
Roll for an attack. Yeah, with that.
Oh, what a ride that was. I rolled an 18. I don't know what to use for my hit. I'll just use a +7. So 25?
Was it?
Can I?
18 +7, so 25.
Sure. Yeah, you hit him on the noggin. No need for damage. It's not meant to be a lethal thing. Fucking hell.
Where?
I said you
hold
were a
on.
good one.
Where would you estimate Talon would be? Like if he's coming up for a pour of drink, because if possible, Talon would reach out and snatch out of the air before it hit him.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you would have been probably had a tree adjacent to her, so you would have been kind of like above him or behind him, rather. For the tree that he's sitting under with the fire. Roll a sleight of hand. Sure. Yes, that's what we'll do for that.
Well, as a monk, I have catch projectiles.
Catch projectile. Oh, how does that work?
Let me get to it and read it for you. Deflect missiles. There we go. You can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you're hit by a ranged weapon attack. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus 10. If you reduce damage to 0 and have a free hand, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack with said object.
So I'd say for this, easy enough, you just catch it. He kind of ducks after like looking up, seeing that she's dropping something on him, and you reach right above his head as he kind of like winces a little bit. Yeah, you just catch it.
Head doesn't move whatsoever to like notice that there's just he goes and catches it.
You know, your eyes work better than I thought.
It's not the eyes where you can see.
That's some profound shit, mate. That he like kind of cheers to you.
He just shoots it down. Not enjoying it, like not sipping it, but he's just like, get something in my body, kind of thing.
Oh, it's so you, elf one with the markings.
Hey.
So, never had whiskey before.
No,
That's a damn shame. Well,
it's a human drink.
it is a human drink, that's right, it is. And it's a damn good one. What you cunts drink up there, anyway?
Well, it varies. Up in the mountains, you're not really going to have a whole lot that grows. There are some drinks you make with the juniper berries that grow up there. And
Sounds fruity.
mead. It's a honey wine.
I've
It's
had
very
my-
good, very strong.
I don't know, I've had my fair share of meat, but you need to diversify. Try some of this human shit. It burns at first, but you're gonna like it, I promise. And if you don't, well, drink it anyway.
It gets the job done, right?
Sure it does. He hands you a little wooden cup of it.
So I will take the wooden cup, and as I did with the bread before, I'll kind of sniff it and immediately kind of have a whoa.
That's it.
All right.
As
It's
opposed to
gonna
sniff
burn
it,
like
burns
hell
the
in it.
nostrils.
As I'm fucking learning, and I'll toss it back.
How do you feel about that?
Constitution.
I'll let you determine. That's your
So-
decision how she likes it.
I'll kind of have a moment and kind of. That's not the worst thing I've ever tasted.
There's a bit of something in there. There's nuance to it.
It's a bit warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. One for the
Don't mind
throat,
it.
one for the heart.
You have one.
Oh, well, it's a bit cold. That's why I need to drink this.
Well, in that case, I'll probably need to drink a little more as well.
Dark and cold, it will warm you and brighten you right up.
Feeling the only person here that doesn't need it would be Foxjay and Avelina.
I don't know if I like whiskey.
I was actually, I was just thinking. Avelina. You don't remember really anything. But
No.
memory is, I think, most tied to smell and taste. So maybe something strong like whiskey could jolt something, unlock something.
It sure brings back a lot of fucking memories for me. That's a good point there.
Thank you, Lewin.
I'll give it a go.
Hands your little wooden cup.
I feel like I need to do a con save for this because I don't know if she likes it or not.
Mini
Alright,
saves.
that is a 12.
Yes, it stings a bit.
That
It's a loads of fucking memories coming back with that one, isn't it? Yeah.
ow. I don't know how
I'll pull out my water skin and give it to her. Wash it
you.
down a bit.
Yes, thank you. Not the biggest fan of the flavor.
It grows on you, I promise. I've got a question. Have a sit.
She'll sit.
Closer. He kind of like glares into your eyes. I know you may not remember, but do you got like siblings or nothing like that?
Couldn't tell you.
Something about you is familiar. Your eyes. Oddly enough, first bloke I ever killed. During the war. A young chap. It's something that stayed with me for the rest of my life. The look in his face, his eyes, as the light faded. I just wonder if that was your older brother or something like that.
I certainly hope not.
Just something about you is familiar, that's all. Well, hopefully I didn't kill your brother or nothing like that.
She's gonna kind of scoot away from him, just in case.
Yeah, he was a fucking little soldier. Barely a man at that point. We got into a tussle, hand to hand, real hardcore shit. Yeah, I'd both got disarmed by the end of it. I choked him out. In 2 hands. You know, it changes you when you off a bloke like that. Stays with you if you let it.
That's why you wash it down.
That's why we wash it down. It's a big gob. But don't worry about that. You stay on my good side, I won't have to choke you out. Have a good night.
You too. And she'll get up and go sit by somebody else.
Foxjay.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone asked, but did you offer the name of the person in your story?
No. Yes, I did, but it's a little confusing. Her name was Ocean. She was the best of us. She was the best of me. I wish you all except for Lewin, could meet her. You know what, even Lewin, I think you get it.
She sounds like a good cunt.
I know coming from you, that's the highest of praise. Thank you. She's been gone for about 10 years.
My condolences.
Oh, that's all right. He's gonna still be kind of smoking his pipe, and the images of the stories that he kind of goes on to tell are kind of paralleled in the smoke. Just kind of hear a little amorphous, nebulous. I'm 90 now. 90 years. We met when I was 20. We were both 20. The blue and the red tiefling rivalry was always silly to us. But we got through it. We knew that it was dangerous, and she was... Kind of looks around at the group. She had a real adventurous spirit, but we knew it was too dangerous. So we stayed. We stayed in a lakeside cabin near Hope Scar for 60 years. And she always wanted to see the ocean. She took on that name, I think, in a way to honor me because of my blue skin, and in a way to remember her own dreams. She was so far from the sea, and I came from. I sailed a little bit in my teenage years. That's why she was so smitten with me, because she was my ocean and I was hers. Well, got to be about 80, and she had a long list of places she wanted to see, and I couldn't say no anymore. So we left. We got to the Wicked Passage. About a few miles away, mountains on one side, forest on the other. It's a good place to hide for more unscrupulous. People don't like tieflings that much. She didn't get away. Talon, you know what she told me? Last thing. They know not what they do. Don't hold it against them. 60 years. Yeah. Hiding. A few days on the road.
Oh, damn, that's fucking tragic. Can't say that I completely agree with her though. Sound like a good cunt, but
Hey, Lewin.
the lot of them know a lot exactly what they're fucking doing.
I agree with you. And I struggle every day to be what she would want. She didn't get a chance. I went to all the places. It took me 10 years. Because I stumbled through most of it. That whiskey. It does bring back memories. For sure. I eventually made it to the ocean. On the ship of the Admiral. That sank. Liliana, I think you
survived that then.
I did. Liliana, I think you were closest when I was talking to the Queen. I talked about the truth, and the truth got me locked up with all of you, thankfully with all of you. But the truth is, Eswin did not sink that ship.
Get that we play a game. We're in a game
Absolutely.
constantly.
So that's what the Queen meant when she said that she believed you.
Yes.
I know she talks to cunts over there, so maybe that's where she got her sources that they never did actually attack it or sink it, nothing like that. So what did sink it? What happened?
It's funny, right? I stayed in one place for so long with the love of my life. Went across so much land to get to the ocean. A storm there, a storm inside, and then a storm brought us down with purple lightning and a leviathan from the dark gray waters.
Like the one, like fucking Odysseus.
Exactly, Odysseus. I'll just create some purple lightning off my fingertips and just have the kind of glow of the purple lightning scar up my arm, kind of up my neck, glow in my eyes.
I was curious where that came from. I'm not used to seeing people glow who are not of my people. Not in that way.
Yeah, it was, as far as I can tell, I was the only one who survived. I went down, far down in the water. I don't remember much. It's just forms, pressure, electricity, and then sand in my face. I like to think ocean had something to do with it. All I know
Maybe
now
she
is
made
that
a deal with fucking Odysseus.
I know I did, and I carry her around, whether I wanted to or not. And I just kind of point to the horn where the rings are. Wedding rings. Made of the bone of our horns. She would want the truth out. And that's why it's important. And that's why I said yes to this deal, because I know you all have lost something just as monumental.
Hear Liliana scuff at the tree. She's gonna shift around. She's listening.
Anybody else got a fucking tragic story to tell? Fire's still going strong.
I do, but tonight's not the night. This is
Ooh,
not
once
the
we
place.
cozy up to each other a bit more, how about that then? Not that I fucking
give me a
care.
few
He,
more
like,
shots.
Lays down and kind of gets in, like, lays over on his side and kind of digs himself in a little bit. It's a kind of a linen blanket over himself.
Fox J, and perhaps anyone here might know, was that ship sinking, was that not what started the current instance of the war?
It was. As I understand it. That's why the truth is imperative.
So all of it,
Is a lie.
all of it's based on a fucking lie. Gods.
And I'm walking truth. I'm sorry.
before my time in the war. At least, I was stationed just kind of north. But what happened to me happened before the sinking of that ship. So I really didn't hear about the war until recently, actually. Hidden away, if you will. Is the war what burned your lands, Farron?
In a way. We were in the way. There was an emissary that came and spoke to... There were a lot of villages there. It's the mountain range that is on a border. Apparently, we haven't really cared much for borders. That's our home. And the emissaries came to each of us, each of the villages, and told us that we were to leave. That the lands belonged to the crown, and they were going to be utilized accordingly to fuel the war effort. We've always been sovereign unto ourselves. That land was ours. There were some villages that left, but we didn't. We've always been able to defend our home. We know the woods, we know the mountains, we know the caves underneath. And we thought that that would be enough. It had always been enough. Well, it wasn't. So, those who refused to leave were removed. And they did not seem to care how much they needed to burn to get us out.
Down with the king. Down with the throne. I'm over
There's
it.
one thing I fucking learned about the emissaries in my service in the war. The emissaries are a fucking courtesy warning shot. I'm sorry for what they did. I'm sorry for any role in the past I played in that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. It's down with the fucking king.
My only regret was that I wasn't able to see to his end personally. I'm glad to hear he's gone. I just want to know that this isn't going to keep going.
Well, there's still one of them out there. We can hunt down that cunt, and maybe if you're lucky, you get to be the one that puts an arrow in him.
Oh, I would love nothing more.
Sensei Suplex, thanks for the raid. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're in the middle of a pre-nighttime campfire talk right now. So a freshly new party gathered around, revealing some stuff about themselves. Welcome.
Liliana will flame from the branch. No. He's mine.
It seems every single one of us wants a piece of him, so maybe we just all together on the count of 3, we put a dagger, we put a knife, we put a sword, we put an arrow, put some magic. I don't fucking care as long as he's dead.
There's a little bit of malice in her voice, like just a lot of anger. You can hear.
You can have him. I just want what's mine. what he took from me that day. Or they. I don't know who did, really. And for what reason. Talon's just going to walk off and climb back up the tree and go back to bed.
Leona, you never did tell me. He kind of shifts over, lays on his back. Now, hands kind of clasped over his chest, talking into the sky, almost up into where you are in the tree. What you got on against him so much that you want his fucking head?
He took my child away from me.
Didn't know you had a fucking kid. Oh. If they're still alive, maybe there's still time we can get them back. If not, at least we can get vengeance.
Be mine. I'll have patience until then.
That's about enough for me for a night. He rolls back over and bundles up in the blankets again.
Alan would keep watch for a little bit. As everyone's kind of doing their thing.
I don't need much rest. I can keep watch as well, if any of you find yourselves needing more sleep.
Take your little rest. I'll take the full. I got this.
With that, as the night comes and goes unabated, before morning comes, Talon, in your dreams, just the glimpse along the roadside. You see just a rope tied around a tree, up close, and just flashes of darkness and glimpses of the close-up of a rope swinging in the tree. An axe chopping at where the rope was tied to the tree. The rope falls. Flashes of black. Flashes back memories of you and a squad of your men approaching a cavern. An ominous sense of dread peering into the cavern. You take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward, and it's veiled in darkness as you wake up and see that morning has come. Late morning at this point, as you traveled some into the night, now looking at probably 8 to 10 a.m. range. Sun has been up for probably the past 4 hours or so now at this point. Lewin rolls over. Oh, fucking hell, the ground is so comfortable, I tell you. Never get used to it.
Liliana's already cinching her horse. Early riser.
All right, upsy daisy, everyone. We ready to go? Let's continue on.
Stretches just a little bit, grabs his staff, and backflips out of the tree.
Evelina's
Hope you got your
already
beauty
awake.
rest.
Evelina's already awake, and it appears she never went to bed at all.
So, out of curiosity, since I don't sleep, I trance, would I have noticed that you don't sleep?
We kind of do a little bit of a different thing. The way we've homebrewed the trance is that you are able to make perception checks with disadvantage, but you're mostly unconscious while you're doing your trance.
Okay.
So it is a form of sleep, but you are able to kind of like by chance break out of your trance for a little bit. But that's kind of the way we've run it since the beginning with our elven trances.
Got it.
Yep. So you can make a perception check with disadvantage if you would like to.
Wait, howdy, I sure will.
We howdy.
Okay. That's a 13. That's not very high.
What'd you get?
13.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part. I just heard the. Yeah, no, probably not. You were kind of entranced.
Fox J will startle awake, probably from Talon leaping out of a tree, in that very kind of old man way, like. Oh, right, yeah.
Was that pretty like out there? Like everybody heard him wake up, or is it just?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Very much like the older you get, the louder your sneezes are. That sort of thing.
Putting my
Oh,
my bags onto the horse, I'm gonna look to Fox J and then look to Talon. You're gonna give him a heart attack one of these days. Probably not do that. Just gonna continue loading my stuff back on the horse.
It's not my fault. I'm not the old one here.
I don't know what to say to that.
Not the old one. And Lewin's the douche.
It's so cutting. That's true.
Why you gotta call out the loud sneezers? Yeah, I'm one of those. It's like a nuclear bomb just went off.
Let me just help you with your horse.
Right, so shall we settle up and get on going? Everybody grab a bite to eat. Or eat on the road. Let's get make up some more ground for this traveling day, all the way up to Midham. As you guys pack up for the night, dousing the fire and kind of saddling up on your horses and preparing for the next leg of the journey further north. Make your way back through those fields out onto the road you see, and now the morning, kind of before midday now, the roads are decently traveled. You can even see from where you are in the field 3 different kind of groups of traveling individuals spread out amongst each other. I just saw that, Allie. Meow meow. Okay, we've still got a bit of ways to go before we get up to Midham. Let's travel at a nice, comfortable pace.
Really fucking bright.
It's a bright and sunny one today, isn't it? It was
Not
a
much
beautiful night last night, though. Hopefully we've got a beautiful day ahead.
Can I just look ahead of us, like quite a ways, to see if there are anything that shouldn't be there? Maybe some looky-loos out from the trees, or...
Making your way towards the road, you gather up onto the road and you see that as there are those dips and licks of the tree line that make its way to the road, around the next bend is a bit of a tree line as you make your way further north, heading on this path. Roll a perception check.
My shield glows, and I get a 14.
Looking up ahead, hard to tell if there's anything going on in the tree line to your left or even the more fields off to your right, closer to that mountain off in the east. Judging by your memory of the map and what is ahead, you probably have maybe an hour or so's worth of travel before you make your way to that crossroads that separates the way from Midham to Mailfair.
Okay. Evelina.
Yes.
Anything jarring in your memory? This road? Scent of the trees?
DM, is there?
This would, let me see. This would not have been the route that you took, to get to Solverain.
No, there's nothing familiar about it to me. It's just trees.
All right. Just checking.
Trotting away on the road. Go ahead. You're good.
As we're trotting and like kind of as they're talking, Talon's gonna call up to Farron. Farron, I don't know what our marching order is, so I'm just like kind of hoping that they're near
it's
me.
undecided at this moment. Yeah.
I'll kind of slow my horse so that we're moving side by side.
In your culture, your people, what do they talk about? Dreams or visions?
It can vary. Sometimes dreams are just dreams. But for some, if they are sensitive to such things, you might have a vision to view from someone else's eyes. Things currently happening. Things from the past, things that have yet to be. There are seers, and they are treasured. But why do you ask?
Talon kind of thinks for a second. Just keep your eyes open for a rope hanging from a tree on the side of a road.
Hey, I can do that.
That's that.
Marching on, trotting on on your horses. As the forests to the left, to the west, as you round the bend, catches your eye. A man standing underneath a tree, fastening a rope to said tree. Ties it around the base, takes the longer length and tosses it up around a overhanging limb, a thick branch. Tie it around off at the base, begins to fumble with the other end that hangs lower. Kind of a younger looking fellow. Simple clothes. Kind of a bowl cut. Lewin riding past kind of glares and then stops. Brings the horse to a halt. The man kind of seeing all of you kind of timidly kind of makes eye contact and kind of just nods and it turns to the side as he tries to tie it. Lewin steps off of his horse, just abruptly storms over and just grabs the rope from the guy. Are you about to do what I think you're about to do? What? No, what do you mean? Are you about to fucking neck yourself? I was just tying it. You was about to fucking neck yourself right here, right next to the fucking road. What's your fucking name? Thomas. Fucking Thomas. That's a real cunt thing to do, you know that? I wasn't trying. You were too. You were about to fucking neck yourself on alongside the road where everybody's going to see your fucking vulture-eating body. Now, you think that's fair to the rest of the lot of them? Anybody that has to travel? No, it was... I don't know, he was just trying to make a fucking mess of the road here, right? Well, that's real fucking ominous, you know. Traveling these days is real fucking hard. You're gonna make it that much harder by people having to see your fucking corpse being picked apart by vultures. No, I didn't really think of that. Yeah, you didn't really think. That's real fucking selfish of you, mate. But you know what wolves do? Wild dogs. When one of them's sick or old and it's gonna fucking die, you know what they do? No. They go off away from the fucking pack and they find a nice little hole, they curl up and they die. Do you know why they do that? I don't know. It's so that they don't fucking ruin morale of the pack. This here is my pack. I'm responsible for them. You understand that? So how would you think we would feel? We come across, we're just trying to travel. Just trying to have a peaceful travel. And we see your fucking bloated corpse hanging from that tree. So I should, like, do it off into the distance. If you're gonna fucking do it off into the woods. Oh, okay. But you're not gonna fucking do it. Why are you trying to fucking neck yourself in the first place? Let me guess. Lost your wife. She cheat on you? Did you lose your house? Did you lose your job? What is it? I know, all of the above. All of them at fucking once. Fucking tragic, isn't it? Let me learn you something. You feel like you lost them, didn't you? Yeah, well, I did. I did lose them all. You fucking lost them all. Mate, you can't lose what you never fucking had in the first place. You understand that? What do you mean? I mean, they were mine. They weren't fucking yours. Nothing is fucking yours. You understand that? The only thing that you're given in this life is time. It's the only thing that's fucking guaranteed. It's the time that you got. Now you can fucking cut that short. He motions up to the rope hanging from the tree. You can cut that fucking short if you want to. But here's the fucking kicker. Even time. You don't know how much you fucking got. Again, you could fucking make sure, you know, you could end it right now and get exactly the amount of time that you have left. The only thing guaranteed is a limited amount of time. Everything else, nothing is yours. Not the wife, not the house, not the job, none of that shit. Just the time. And what can you do with that time? I don't know. Anything you fucking want, mate. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, I really like my job. Did you really like that fucking job? What did you do? I worked down by the pier. You liked working down by the pier. Not really. I mean, but it paid the bills. It paid the fucking bills, mate. What do you really want to do? Well, I really like working with my hands. I like to build things. I like to build furniture and stuff like that. Build fucking furniture. But yeah, that's what I like to do. Then build fucking furniture, mate. What's stopping you? Well, I don't really have the supplies and you know, you got to start a business. You don't need to start a fucking business. Start making fucking furniture. He pulls out an axe, slashes the rope. The rope falls down from the tree, leaves one of the axes just in there. I might be back through this way one of these days. What I want to see is that you've chopped this fucking tree that you was about to neck yourself with. You've chopped it all down. I don't care if you have to use this fucking axe. Maybe you can barter with somebody going along the road. You can get some more tools. But all you need is the fucking axe and the fucking know-how. And you got all the time in the world, you fucking decide. So don't be a cunt. Don't neck yourself here. Don't neck yourself in the woods. Fucking make furniture. He does an about face and immediately storms kind of away from the away from this guy. He's just kind of baffled at this moment. And he saddles back up on his horse. Then does kind of a I'm watching you thing to the man.
Give me another one of your lectures.
Fucking necking himself right on the fucking road. He gets the horse and starts to gallop a bit. As you guys
I'm gonna
start
look to the party and just give like a wide eye. Jeez. And
you're muted.
Yeah. So as soon as we are out of earshot of that guy, I am going to, again, sidle my horse up next to Talon and just kind of look over. Is that how that went?
Was there an axe involved?
Hey.
I only saw the rope and the axe. I didn't hear the conversation.
It's a damn shame that I am a hunter and not a mystic in this case. So all I can say is keep track of those dreams. Please.
See my eyes for these symbols.
Gladly.
Will
If you
do.
look on screen, you can actually finally see Lewin and also Thomas. I just forgot to bring them up during the moment, but that was them. You can finally see this is what Lewin looks like. The asshole.
A lot of leather.
It's a lot of leather.
A lot of leather.
In a lot of ways, very similar to what Liliana is wearing as well. But they have their own different kind of, the same kind of dark leather that they're both wearing though. But yeah, it's a lot of leather. Hey, Onyx, my Cloister, thank you for the gifted subs. Right, fucking keep going then. You see, he's like pissed. It's like irrationally pissed at this moment as he's riding down. Onyx, my cloister, you're a good cunt.
DM, I was reminded I have a passive perception of 22.
22, is that all?
So in those moments where we stop and it seemed a bit strange to do something so in view in daylight kind of thing. I don't know if it's like late now and we're going past it, but I would like to keep an eye out for, especially because of the Gloomstalker comment, of any sort of potential ambush or anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You feel a lot safer in the broad daylight in regards to beasties. Traveling in the night would be a different story altogether, but
For sure.
so far it seems like your travels are faring well. You pass a few caravans and pass a troop of Xeyhathian soldiers. A little more tensious passing given your current assignment. It feels a bit tense. Time feels like it slows down as you pass by this marching troop of Xeyhathian soldiers in their surcoats of blue, headed by one man on a horse, a circle-brimmed hat. The rest of the troop march behind on foot. As they kind of begin to pass on by, Lewin kind of shifts in his saddle a little bit. You kind of notice that the troop marches on, but the one on the horseback circles back around, passing each of you, heading up to almost cut you off. Kind of canters a bit with the horse, almost walking sideways, and then turns to face you. You guys kind of, with Lewin leading the way, he kind of, ooh, and slows the horses down. Good day, citizens. Good fucking day. I mean, good day. How's your marching going? It is going well. I just wanted to give you a heads up. The Parthans are out in full force today. So, approach that as you may. He kind of, just naturally with that, Lewin just kind of does a half salute to him, almost kind of stops himself. Did you serve? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was discharged. Discharged. Honorably or dishonorably? Prefer not to say. Fair enough. Well, if it was honorably, the war effort continues. He kind of looks at the rest of you too. If you're a worthy lot, you could always use good men. In and outside of the kingdom. He kind of, this kind of leader saunters up closer with a kick of the horse, then leans in towards Lewin a bit. You're not a deserter, are you? No, not a fucking deserter. It's complicated. I did special duty. Special duty. Right. Kind of eyes each of you. Anyone else serve? Or just a random traveling party?
Unfortunately.
Kind of saunters over to you. And your name?
Wolfenhammer. Talon Aurelian Wolfenhammer.
Kind of
station north under Adonis.
Racks his memory a little bit. Oh, Adonis. I've served with him. Good man. Discharged as well? Or, I suppose, need I say, he kind of nods to your bandaged eyes.
Let's just say it's medical.
Well, thank you for your service. Xeyhath, of course, owes you a great debt.
word of advice. Question everything and keep your men safe.
Taken aback by that statement a little bit. Well, Sir Wolfenhammer, good day to you. Good day to you, all of you. Stay safe
He
on the
will
road.
salute.
Salutes back. Yeah. Gallops back to lead his party.
Talon, are you all right?
I'm fine. We'll talk later, but not here.
Okay. Lewin,
Yeah.
Parthen's out in force?
Parthen's out in force. Par for fucking course. When are they not? It's like legalized road banditry.
Oh. Okay. On our
It's one
toes.
way to pay and feel the war efforts. Often supplies some of the best soldiers for it, and also happens to be the alma mater of our great fucking hunted cunt.
Lovely.
Traveling up the road a few hours now later, just before that crossroads, or just after that crossroads rather, there's a few things, a few caravans stationed up that way, just camping out at the crossroads, kind of the safety in numbers kind of thing. A very informal kind of like tent town that's formed there just to meet some of the basic needs before traveling on further. People seeming to keep to themselves there in their own little set up camps. Travel another hour further towards Midham. Now feeling that you have just a few more hours before you get to evening. Around another corner, you hear kind of a certain degree of ruckus, hammering movement, voices, people laughing, kind of jeering. Rounding the corner, you see in chainmail and half plate, round helms, brimmed, and surcoats of a full green. A cart blocks the way. Barricades with spears attached to these fence posts to prevent just plowing through it. A log downed over the way, you recognize immediately a very obvious kind of bottleneck and intentional. Cliffs covering either side of this road with fences to prevent you going around even this on either side up the hills. A makeshift Parthen toll. Single file on the left side where you would march your horses through. One of the men taking a bite out of something turns and grins as the party canters up closer. kind of waves his hand to the men on either side. Grins as he takes a step forward. You see as some of the men on the sides kind of cock their crossbows. These makeshift guard posts on either side. At first count, easily recognizable, 8 to 10 men. Similar garb, as if the Parthens set up this little barricade here. Well, I don't know about you, cunts, but I don't got a whole lot of fucking money, not Parthen money.
Does it look like there's a leader of them?
If at all a leader, this one who's stepping up in front of the barricade. Everybody else is kind of perched behind the barricade there. Kind of.
Does it look like there's any ranged weapons?
Yes, you see the crossbows, kind of. A few of them aimed loosely, lazily, kind of like at you guys, just like hedging who you are, how cooperative you're going to be. This one has a long sword. Everyone else seems to have like long swords ready, crossbows ready.
I'm gonna take my hood down. Is any tension from above?
Good citizens of Xeyhath, make sure you pay your Parthen toll today. I'm sure you are good citizens who pay taxes to the crown and the king. May the gods rest his soul. But of course you have to pay taxes to the road as well.
With what money?
What money? Well, that's your fucking problem, isn't it?
DM, for money purposes, the gold that we currently hold, is that not what they're looking for, or is it something that we could use to pay a path through?
What are you saying?
The gold, like if we have money, we could pay him, correct? It's the same currency. Just want to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be a gold currency.
Okay.
From your understanding, egregiously high.
I'm gonna kind of jostle my horse and kind of, usher it forward to the captain, almost cutting in between Lewin and this guard. How much does it cost?
Well, if you're a first-time traveler, 10 gold each. If
10?
you're in our records, cuts it in half. 5 gold each. Very generous. Gotta make sure you pay your taxes.
Has Liliana been through this road before?
Probably, but you have not run into this toll before. This is a newly set up. If you want to share your name, we can look you up in our system.
Liliana.
Liliana. We got Liliana on there. Turns over to one of the guys who's sitting on kind of this open carriage. Flips through a kind of a charter very lazily. Yeah, no Liliana, unfortunately. Yeah, you're not in our records, unfortunately.
I'm gonna look to Lewin, almost insinuating, do we say we're on a mission for the queen or something of those lines, like we are being sent by the crown to go to our destination?
Well, we're on a very important assignment from the queen cunt herself. Well, Very endearing terms you've used there. Can't say I don't spare the same sentiment. But then we're right on the same fucking page then, aren't we? In some sorts.
How flammable does the barricade look?
Mostly all wood.
Bet.
You see that
What
there's
is-
kind of on the left side, it's formed kind of this archway with this big log and kind of a tied up log facing perpendicular to that kind of leads the way. That way is currently open, but you would have to go single file and probably dismount from your horse and lead them through that way. They've made it just narrow enough that it would be like kind of a bottleneck to get through there.
Is there like fabric and wood within 10 feet of Talon?
Probably not within 10 feet, not at this point, because he's kind of come out to meet you, probably about 20 feet away from the barricade itself. So what happens if we don't got the money to pay? What do we do? We get a free pass for doing them special mission? Well, it depends. You got papers for that. You got papers that show that you're on a special assignment from the Queen. Yeah, it's one of those that they don't have papers for, you know? So I guess you'd have to take our word for it. Yeah. Fuck off with that then. Right. So we don't got the money. What are we gonna do? Seems that we've reached an impasse.
As he's talking, I want to take a number of immediate people I can see from where I'm at.
Let me look here.
Hearing the rising tensions between Lewin and the guard, I want to start counting.
And during that, if I'm still next to Foxjay, I'm going to kind of tap him to say, like,
Hey!
you kind of feel like a hot tingling.
Suddenly he has Alzheimer's.
You feel an insane amount of heat for what should just be a normal human hand kind of on your skin. And that's just a tap.
Ouch.
What you can immediately see, it looks to be about 8. Roll a perception as well.
Bouncy board. 60. 4. So that's a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you can gauge that while you can visibly see around a 8, you suspect there may be a few more, perhaps, that you see just through hearing and seeing them, kind of like seeing the other ones like turning and addressing. So at least 8, maybe a few more.
What is the range from the furthest ones from each other? Ish.
From the furthest ones from each other,
So, like,
don't
let's say I would want to, like, figure out, like, a radius that I could catch all of them within.
you probably wouldn't be able to catch all of them. There's a good distance, like, between this road barricade and the 2, like, makeshift battlements that they have on either side. Is probably, I'd have to count it, and I would have to have that up, which I don't currently.
Okay, that's fair.
It depends on what the radius is. Like, a 30-foot would just be, like, sectioning off the
Yeah.
roadway itself. 30-foot might get a couple of them.
Right.
Yeah, it would be easier if you could, like, see it, but I don't have it up right now currently. So.
I have options, definitely. And they all seem to, kind of rehashing a previous question, they all seem to be just kind of, like, mounted up to be at range, to use crossbows, bows, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Smart.
Some of them are ready to sally out if they need to off of the barricade and meet you there. Getting past the barricade that they have set up, it would be kind of dangerous, especially for your horses. They would just impale themselves. They have it set up in that regard.
Okay.
I'm going to ready in action.
Okay.
Liliana with the...
What is the trigger
and-
and what is the action?
So the action is called Clench of the North Wind. If you'd like, I can read that out. But I'm going to ready that, waiting for the kind of the go-ahead from either Lewin or Liliana of attack.
Okay. At this point, you
Liliana
guys are
is-
all still on your horses as well, so keep that in mind.
Liliana's going to throw the ass end of the horse, circling it around to the guard in her own way of saying, F this. But she's going to, she's going to lean forward into Lewin and say, should rest and come back another time.
Yeah, we've made a lot of fucking progress today. You're not giving me my options. Well, your options are, if you can't pay it, we could go through some of your belongings, we could make a trade, you could give us some of the things that you have if we deem it worthy enough for a passage, or you can fuck off and try to find another way around with your precious little horses up through the forest and hope you don't get eaten by any of the nasty creatures in there. This is the safest way, it's what your taxes go to. You pay your taxes and we keep you safe on the road.
At least the beasts only take when they're hungry.
He kind of just grins at you saying that.
We're how many feet away from the gate?
Probably about 20 to 30, if I recall correctly. There's not necessarily a gate. There's a rock face that's kind of leaning over this. There's a wooden arch that kind of caps off at the height of a rider. So you would have to like duck on your horse if you were to try to go through that. It looks like there's a kind of a perpendicular log that is attached to that and it's kind of like flanked on either side. So it's like a kind of like a murder hall where you see like two of the guards, like they would be able to shoot their crossbows like down into this passage if somebody were to just like try to jolt through.
She's gonna lean up in an annoyance of what she just heard from the guard. Say, Lewin, you know what they say about being with someone who's unpredictable?
What's that?
You always have to be ready. And I'm gonna lean, and I'm just gonna take one of my daggers and take it into the guard's throat.
Are you throwing it or?
I'm like, I put myself in between, so I imagine he is within 5 feet range of myself. Like
Sure.
I literally shoved my horse in between Lewin and the guard, and I'm just taking my dagger and just stabbing it into his throat.
Roll for an attack.
And that's a 19
I
plus
believe
8.
that will work.
And
Yep, that
with
will hit.
Lewin, oh no, he's not within 5 feet. I was gonna say, is anybody within 5 feet of him, so I can maybe throw a little bit more.
If you wanted to have been like beside Lewin instead of in between you and the him and that guard, I would give you that if you wanted. You want to
Okay,
recant
yeah,
that
I can
and
do
say
that.
that's how you were sitting. That'd be fine with me.
I can do that. And
Yes,
Is
so
an
that's-
horse
you could
like an ally?
I don't know if technically.
So that'll be an additional 3/6 on top of the piercing damage. So let me go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
That'll be 8. So that'll be 8 piercing damage.
Nice.
And then let's see. So that'll be 4 sneak attack.
Okie dokie. With that, you see the other guards kind of tighten up their aim, ready to unleash bolts as your dagger slashes down and kind of catches him across the collarbone. He kind of winces at that, has his sword ready, aimed at you. And we're going to take a break.
Okay, fine.
When we get back, we will roll initiative and get into this combat that has just begun. We'll let you resolve your held action. They were also holding actions, so that works both ways, baby. Alrighty, we'll get right back to it, guys. 12 to 15 minutes. We'll be right back. Go get some snackies, go use the facilities, and we're going to get into our first combat of this campaign. Hey! And I'll have the battle map up and ready for you guys. Then you'll be able to I'll get that up for you guys so you can actually see the actual distances of things and stuff like that. So I just need some time to set that up. So it's perfect time for a little break. We'll see you guys when we come back. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo.